Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
Pope Francis had bowel surgery in July and has now given his first exclusive interview with a Spanish news service called COPE. In the interview, on August 30th, the Pope revealed that the nurse saved his life and spoke of rumors of his resignation. The Spanish broadcaster COPE published excerpts from the extensive interview in which the Holy Father also explained details about his surgical treatment in early July. The Pope's intestinal operation at the beginning of July was apparently more serious than initially thought, and he spent 10 days in hospital. The 84-year-old explained that he had part of his colon removed on July 4th in a planned 3-hour procedure. Final examinations had confirmed the initial diagnosis of severe constriction. The more precise findings showed signs of sclerosing diverticulitis, a hardened inflammation of protuberances in the intestinal wall. The fact that he is still alive is thanks to the nurse in charge, a man with a lot of experience, said the Pope. It is the second time in his life that a caregiver has saved his life. The first incident of this kind occurred in 1957. At that time, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, as a seminarian in Argentina, had to endure a complicated lung operation. The first time it was an Italian nun who, opposing the doctors, changed the medication they had to give the Pope, then a young seminarian, to cure him of the pneumonia that he suffered, as Francis has told on several occasions. Pope Francis also addressed rumors of his resignation. He said to COPE, "Whenever a pope is sick, there is a breeze or a conclave hurricane. I'm alive," said Pope Francis when the interviewer Herrera asked him how he is doing. The Italian newspaper Corriere della Sera revealed the name of the nurse who saved the life of Pope Francis. Massimiliano Strappetti was present before and after the recent colon operation, and we could also see him in the first appearance of Pope Francis at that Angelus from the hospital window. Passionate about his work and extremely secretive about him, many have recognized Massimiliano as the nurse who saved the Pope. Those who know him describe him as a loving father and husband, generous and devoted to others even outside of his work. Massimiliano also works as a volunteer helping those most in need, so dear to Pope Francis. Massimiliano came to work at the Vatican after a long professional career at the Gemelli Hospital in Rome. After the Angelus from the hospital, Pope Francis emphasized free health services. "I have experienced how important it is that are good and accessible to all. We have to keep it." COPE noted that there was a rumor about a possible resignation of Pope Francis, to which he responds, "Whenever the Pope is ill there is a breeze or a conclave hurricane." The Anglican Bishop Jonathan Goodall has resigned as he seeks full communion with the Roman Catholic Church. The Archbishop of Canterbury has, with regret, accepted the resignation of Bishop Jonathan Goodall after 8 years as Bishop of Ebbsfleet, following his decision to seek full communion with the Roman Catholic Church. Archbishop Justin said, "I am deeply grateful to Bishop Jonathan for his ministry and many years of faithful service. My prayers are with him and Sarah, both for his future ministry and for the direction in which they are being called in their continuing journey of dedicated service to Christ." With regard to the See of Ebbsfleet, we will be starting a process of consultation with colleagues and others, including the parishes to whom Bishop Jonathan ministers, to determine what the next steps will be. Bishop Jonathan said, "I have arrived at the decision to step down as Bishop of Ebbsfleet, in order to be received into full communion with the Roman Catholic Church, only after a long period of prayer, which has been among the most testing periods of my life. Life in the communion of the Church of England has shaped and nourished my discipleship as a Catholic Christian for many decades. This is where I first received, and for half my life have ministered, as priest and bishop, the sacramental grace of Christian life and faith. I shall always treasure this and be thankful for it. I trust you all to believe that I have made my decision as a way of saying yes to God's present call and invitation, and not of saying no to what I have known and experienced in the Church of England, to which I owe such a deep debt." A pro-life victory occurred as Texas becomes the first state to protect the lives of unborn babies with heartbeat law. The Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the new Texas heartbeat law can come into effect. The justices ruled 5-4 against a request from pro-abortion groups to temporarily block enforcement of the pro-life law. "Today marks a new era in the pro-life world," said Jim Graham, President of Texas Right to Life. Our historic law took effect yesterday, and this decision means that Texas can protect preborn babies from abortion who have detectable heartbeats. No other state has accomplished this. Dozens states have passed similar heartbeat laws. Texas is the first to be allowed to enforce its law. The others have been blocked by the courts. In their ruling late Wednesday, the Supreme Court said the pro-abortion groups did not provide sufficient reasons to justify blocking the law, according to the AP. The applicants now before us have raised serious questions regarding the constitutionality of the Texas law at issue, the majority wrote. But their application also presents complex and novel antecedent procedural questions on which they have not carried their burden. In light of such issues, we cannot say the applicants have met their burden to prevail in an injunction or stay application. Justices Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett made up the majority in the decision. The justices who dissented were Chief Justice John Roberts, Justices Elena Kagan, Stephen Breyer, and Sonia Sotomayor. Kagan, Breyer and Sotomayor also wrote separate dissents slamming the court for allowing Texas to restrict abortions. The heartbeat law was signed by Governor Greg Abbott in May. It prohibits abortions once an unborn baby's heartbeat is detectable, at about 6 weeks of pregnancy. Exceptions are allowed if the mother's life is at risk. The Texas legislation also includes a private enforcement mechanism that allows people to file lawsuits against abortionists who violate the law. Texas Right to Life celebrates this phenomenal victory for tens of thousands of preborn children who will be spared the evil of abortion, the organization said in a statement. We are optimistic that the Texas Heartbeat Act will continue to survive ongoing and future legal attacks against this historic policy. Pro-life advocates are reaching out to pregnant women across Texas with compassion and understanding, offering resources and emotional support to help them and their babies. Earlier this year, state lawmakers also increased support for pregnant and parenting mothers and babies, ensuring that they have resources to choose life for their babies. Polls show Americans support heartbeat laws. An April poll by the University of Texas Austin found that 49% of Texans support making abortions illegal after 6 weeks of pregnancy. 73 school children have been kidnapped in Nigeria. The bishops say, terrorist groups have made Nigeria one of the most terrorized countries in the world. The bishops decry this, saying, "Too many kidnappings of children. We risk a traumatized generation of young people." The abductions of school children present us with the prospects of a traumatized generation of young people. The words of the bishops of Nigeria resound as a grave warning after the kidnapping, yesterday September 1st, of 73 pupils from the day secondary school in the village of Kaya, in the state of Zamfara in the northwest of the country. The news of yet another kidnapping comes a few days after the release of 3 other groups of hostages who were kidnapped in the federal state of Niger in northern Nigeria in May, apparently after the payment of a ransom. Since December, more than 1,000 students have been kidnapped from schools in northern Nigeria. An intolerable situation according to the bishops, who in the declaration published at the end of their second plenary meeting, denounce how in Nigeria life has never been so cheap. A Roman Catholic priest from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, USA has committed suicide. His bishop, Most Reverend Michael Duca, wrote, "It is with a heavy heart that I share with you news of Reverend Danny Roussell's death on August 30th. Father Danny was a deeply devoted priest who was beloved by his family, his parishioners, and his brother clergy. He shared a commitment to the faith that was clear and unwavering. I greatly appreciated Danny's generous and open-hearted service to our diocese. I inform you with profound sorrow that Father Danny took his own life at the age of 49. We are aware that Danny recently struggled with anxiety and depression. For many people, the difficulties of the modern world can be an unbearable challenge. For some, these feelings can be overwhelming. I would ask you to pray for Father Danny, his mother, stepfather, brother, and family."
Watch our programme every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic News World channel. God bless.
Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.